Hello my fellow gardening gals and guys, welcome back to my channel, Serenity Now Garden. My name's Jeannie and I garden in a zone 4B. So we're gonna do another garden tour today. It is mid-July and I broke the garden tour up into 3 parts. Today we're gonna do the side yard. So the side yard and the front porch bed is basically a partial sun bed. Both of them are partial sun. And I also have a rock garden I'm going to take you through. So I hope you enjoy. If you like garden tours, please give me a thumbs up so I know, and consider subscribing to my channel. That would really help me out. And I hope you guys enjoy. Happy gardening. Okay, welcome to my garden tour. We're doing the partial sun beds. So this is my front porch this year. The delphiniums are doing awesome on the right. Unfortunately, we just had a rain and the ones on the left got weighed down, so my stakes weren't tall enough. But look at the one on the right. I mean, that is like 4.5 feet tall. They've never been this tall. Look at the colors. It's like a blue mixed with a purple. So cool. But I do need to get taller stakes for these next year. So yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind if you have delphinium. You want to kind of shelter it from a lot of the wind, and yeah, if it rains, you need stakes that are long. I have some shorter delphinium here right in front in between lemon coral sedum, so I thought that would be cool just to kind of have some short ones up front, some tall ones in back, and just kind of, framing out this bird bath I have there. So yeah, I do something different here every year, so I'm liking this so far. So let's take a look at my partial shade or partial sun containers this year. These poor elephant ears got whipped around. We've had the windiest year ever. So I might not do those next year, but hopefully it'll turn out okay. These coleus will fill in. We have watermelon and chocolate covered cherries, some begonias in there, and some creeping Jenny. So looking forward to that. These are my calla lilies. These are the only bulbs that came back for me that I overwintered inside. I had some caladium bulbs that I did the same with, but when I opened them up this year, they were just like 20 dried turds basically. So I couldn't use them, unfortunately. And the hanging basket there, I just had to cut it back, but it'll fill in again. That's some calabracoa. All right, so this is my front yard, and I have this privacy hedge I'm trying to put in the back there of Diablo 9 bark, so I'll show you that in a little bit. Here we have some geranium. We have reader geranium on the left, just a regular cranesbill on the right. We have some silver mound artemisia next to some dianthus that's on its way out of blooming. But I still love that foliage, you guys. Isn't that like frosted blue just so pretty? And we have on this retaining wall, we have a couple of these hostas. We have some, I believe, purple palace coral bells, heuchera. We have some Biocobo geranium, another coral bells. And just kind of repeats the pattern here. More dianthus. So these dianthus really put on a show. They just are sputtering out here, but that's a little spark spirea that put on a show as well. So, and down this retaining wall, this is first year, so all these plants are small, but we have some sweet woodruff. This is a really good shade ground cover. It's not invasive at all. It just kind of goes slowly. Just gets these sweet little white flowers in the spring. I'll kind of show you some of these hostas. Just keep in mind, like I said, they're first year, so they haven't really grown in. That's a forbidden fruit. I have quite a few of those because they were on sale. That's Sun Glory. Those get huge. We got some variegated Japanese forest grass. And that is a fire island. Those are the ones with the red stems. So just behind that, well, let me show you this here. In this bed, we have a couple of these staghorn cutleaf sumacs. So we kind of want these to kind of take off. It's a native in the area. And this is an area that we remove buckthorn, and we just want to suppress the seedlings. And that's a blue Hawaii. And I think that's a Pilgrim hosta. There's a Francis Williams. These are just little guys right now. A Halcyon. I always like to mix in my blues. Another forbidden fruit. And here's an interesting one here. This is called Rainforest Sunrise. So yellow. I got that at Menards. Menards had a great selection this year. And that's a yellow polka dot bikini. It's not really yellow yet. Another sumac there. And this is a bedazzled hosta. This is really cool with the almost white on the edges. And that's a So Sweet. This is just a tiny little Japanese forest grass. This is the all gold variety instead of I have two variegated and then two all golds. That's a halcyon. Just love that blue on those halcyons. I can't wait till this all grows in. This is a Dream Queen. It's got the white stripe. That'll get pretty big. And look at just behind it, I finally have an elephant ear coming up. These are supposed to be pretty big. I got another Japanese forest grass. There's the other elephant ear on the other side. These are supposed to be the mammoth ones that get huge. So let's see how those do. I thought it would be just kind of cool around these trees in this little shade garden. There's another forbidden fruit. More Japanese forest grass and just some variegated hosta. In the far back, there's that gold is a Sun King Aurelia, and it's just next to a blue angel, so might have to do some moving around here once those fill in. This is just my side bed. That'll be in another garden tour when I do the front bed, So these are my Diablo 9 barks. I accidentally cut off all the blooms. I didn't know that you cannot prune these really early spring. But that's okay. They were a little leggy. They're growing really fast. They're just in year 2. But next year these will be covered and they'll kind of almost like weep, like when the buds just kind of weigh them down. So I'm looking forward to that little privacy hedge. So here's my side yard. We've got a rock garden on the left, or a rock garden on the right, and various plants on the left, trying to do that privacy hedge with a few of these plants as well. That's my neighbor's chain link fence on the left. And let me kind of show you this arbor first. I have 4 clematis on this. We have 2 on each side. So we have Jackmanii, which is the purple, and the pink is Villa de Leon. So the Villa de Leon blooms just a little bit later, so I hope to extend the bloom. But look at these colors. I mean, this Jackmanii, the color is just so deep purple. It's very vigorous, too. It's only in year 2, so... And there's the Villa de Leon. Really pretty. So that'll bloom a little bit later than the Jackmanii. But it goes all the way to the top. And we got a little on the other side. This side doesn't get as much sun, so it's not as vigorous. But I'm thinking 3rd or 4th year, this should fill in the whole entire arbor. We got some little limelight hydrangeas. These are the compact version. These are one of the later bloomers, so they're just starting to get buds. They'll be covered this year, but they look great in the fall. Just got a boxwood there. And my blue angel hosta. This is a good 5 feet across. The pollinators love this thing. I see bumblebees in these flowers constantly. So let's kind of go through the arbor here. I just have a little 3-foot path there. I have some sempervivums. A lot of these are going to bloom. Aren't these so interesting? I mean, these are like cold hardy zone 4 sempervivums, hens and chicks, they are also called. But I have a bunch of different colors. Like, look at this color here. It's got like the red on the inside, blue on the outside. And I got my little pincushion mini false cypress evergreen. All rock gardens need some miniature evergreens, I think. Got some Scotch moss behind that and a sedum behind that, just a stone crop sedum. Those really won't shine until the fall, so can't wait to show you those. Still not done with this area. Still gotta fill it in with a bunch of, I think, pebbles I might do, maybe black. We'll see. There's a couple different sempervivums. I think those are, oh, this one is a snowflake Celine. That stands out from a mile away. I love the variegation on that. There's another Celine here right next to it that's budding. You could see their little white flower. That's a Celine uniflora. And some more blooming sempervivums. Really cool how these multiply. Some of these just multiply so vigorously. The Scotch moss, this has spread a bit. And we got a miniature hosta. This is a blue mouse ears. First year on that. And we got Himalayan Skies sedum. This is my favorite in the rock garden, I think. This powdery blue is just so cool. And some more blooming sempervivums that look so interesting. And some red ones behind that. I like to get as many colors as I can in here. That moss just grows naturally here. It's kind of on the north side. That's Saxifraga, so those aren't sempervivums, but very interesting too. That is some Artemisia viridis. We got a little lone dianthus there, not blooming right now. More sempervivums, really cool color there. Here's a blue spruce sedum. These are kind of common in my area. It's flowering right now, yellow. You could propagate these really easy. This is a donkey tails euphorbia. Just thought that was really cool looking. And we got another mini evergreen. That is in the Arborvitae family, Arborvitae primo. Just behind that, that's Sea Thrift. Kind of on its way out, but cool plant, I think. Blue elf sedum right there, and there's some blue fescue right behind that. This is my blue theme down here. This, I'm not sure what this plant is. The tag was missing. I believe it's in the lavender family, and I know it's cold hardy. Another sempervivum. This is dark embers sedum. This will be awesome in the fall when these flowers open. Good for dry areas, and these could take partial sun. And there's another euphorbia there. I love this little rock garden. I still have a lot to fill in, but so cool. So interesting. Very low maintenance, too. More blue elf. And just some more sempervivums that are just going to bloom. And I just used those lights as a hose guard. Those really come in handy. Here's some annual salvia here. This is Unplugged So Blue by Proven Winners. They're okay. I just needed something to fill in the area for now. Look at this Summon Substance hosta. It has a little bit of slug damage on it, but it's like a lime green if it's not in the sun. Another Sun King Aralia. This will get 4x4. I love these. They just are so bright. This is the first frost hosta. And then we got some Cordial Canary. This is the gold ajuga. Looks a little bit green right now, but it was really gold in the spring. That's a fragrant bouquet hosta. When these get bigger, they'll be like vase shaped. I love hosta. I need one of each. This is a Liberty. These will look really cool when they start to get bigger. The variegation is really interesting on those. Some spiderwort. This is the Sweet Kate variety. I'll show you another one. It looks a little better. This is Maui Buttercups. Look at the leaf structure on this hosta. It's so cool. And it's nice and gold. That's a spellbound sedum. So here's Tridescantia spiderwort. This is the Sweet Kate, so it's the chartreuse. Now, my dad did say that for him it was a little bit invasive. So, but here I'm gonna let it kind of take over in some areas. So, but just so you know, here's some nanny berries. These will grow 10 feet tall, 10 feet wide. And here's a lupine that's just kind of on its way out. The last bloom there. Just behind it, we have a serendipity allium. So look at, it's just about to bloom. I think we got another week maybe. Maybe in my next garden tour you'll see. So these are quick fire hydrangeas. These are huge. We pick these because they get big. They're 8 by 8, so we could do that privacy hedge, and they're one of the first blooming. So a lot sooner than the limelights, that's for sure. Can't wait till this area fills in. And look at, we got some yarrow blooming. It's a good thing I got a picture of this because literally that night, a deer or something ate all the blooms off of it. But look at these leaves. These are so cool. They look like fern-like. And got another one behind that. So I did spray this with liquid fence now. These should grow back though. Another serendipity allium, that's a proven winners, and another lupine that's on its way out. And just behind that, this is a dwarf jade butterfly ginkgo. Isn't that cool looking? And we got some variegated zebra iris pedalia, I think it's called. And look at, we got some summer drummer alliums. These are going to open soon. So, and this is mid-July. So these are the latest blooming alliums you can get. So can't wait for that. I'll definitely show you those as soon as they open. Atlantis sedum. Check out the new growth on the sides there. It's just all yellow. I have another one behind it I'll show you that's just starting to flower. So we got another iris there. Yeah, and look at the little yellow flowers there. I just love that sedum. And those are just some spent purple sensation alliums. I just leave them up still. So I hope you guys like that tour. Thank you so much for watching, and happy gardening, everyone. Take care.